What's up, Sm.I.E fam, and welcome to another Sm.I.E video. So it's the holiday, so I want to take this chance to first off just wish everybody a very happy holiday period. Tough times this holiday season for sure, so I really hope that everybody can get a chance to experience the love and presence of loved ones to whatever degree possible this season, because I know that's definitely something that's needed right now. So today's topic is kind of a short topic, and it's kind of a hot topic as well. I've seen this topic on a lot of platforms recently, and I just wanted to give my 2 cents on it and talk about it a little bit and then see what you guys think. What could be so hot a topic, you ask? The 9 to 5 workday. Exciting, isn't it? Yeah. Well, not so much, but yeah, we just want to talk about this a little bit. The 9 to 5 workday, is it still relevant? Is it obsolete? Is it some old remnant of an archaic system? Is it still necessary? All of that stuff. I don't know, but let's get into it. So first up, just a little bit of history. The 9 to 5 wasn't always standard. This kind of happened around about the 1930s, while the whole concept of the 9 to 5 kind of came about from the late 1800s, springing from the manufacturing sector. Now, there's a lot of credit that's being given to Henry Ford of Ford Motors, as to being the one who actually started this or influenced the whole start of the modernization of the 9 to 5 workday. But there's lots of information out there on that, so I just wanted to give you guys a brief background as to where the whole idea of the 9 to 5 workday came from. Now, coming out of that, this thing just kind of got adopted across all other industries as the standard workday. Now, I think it can be said that this has been pretty effective, or it was pretty effective at the time, but bear in mind that this kind of came about when the prevailing driver of commerce was the industrial age, manufacturing, oil and gas, mining, that kind of stuff. So it's not difficult to see that that kind of work structure would actually help greatly in doing things like regulating productivity, reducing employee burnout, cap OPEX costs, and thereby increasing profit, right? I don't think anybody can argue the benefits of the structure back then, at least not entirely successfully. I could be wrong. Since then, however, the commercial landscape has changed a whole lot. No, there are other players in the commerce market space that can be arguably looked at as new leaders in this space, like information technology, for example, or pharma, or the entertainment sector. There are definitely a few more choices out there right now for a leader of the commerce space. And as a result, the questions around the whole 9 to 5 workday thing are popping up now a lot more often than they used to. And the responses are very, very diverse. In so many of the responses or the conversations around this topic, I see responses to this like, people are just lazy now and they don't want to work anymore. To people can't work productively outside of this kind of structure, to there are tons of research that's been done recently that show that other structures have proven to be better and can be just as effective, and so on and so on. Personally, I don't think that one size fits all. I mean, like it or not, people are lazy. That happens from time to time. And people do need structure. That's true also. But it is also true that there are a number of other structures that will and do work. For example, if you go on the internet right now and you do a search, you'll find a number of articles that show studies that were done on the remote work structure, or the flexible work week structure, or reduced work week structure, etc., and how much better these structures are, or how much they are just as effective, and stuff like that. And on the flip side, you can also find a number of articles that show studies that make points like remote work creates silos and reduces collaboration. which I think is a valid point. In my opinion, yeah, I think the 9 to 5 workday is definitely outdated. It is a bit old, but it is still very much valid. Just because it's old doesn't mean that it doesn't work. And just because it works doesn't mean that it can't be improved. But at the same time, it's not the only thing that can and does work. The success of any structure, I think, is gonna depend a lot on what type of job it is. Well, it's gonna depend on a number of factors, like what type of job it is. If, say for example, you're a coder or you're a programmer, I would argue that any kind of restriction on your creative process within confined hours and space isn't necessarily the best option for you. While on the flip side, if say you're working on an oil rig as a rigger, then I would argue that a flexible remote work structure probably isn't the best fit for you. Then there are things like the human factor, which is probably the biggest factor of them all. When you consider work ethic and work process, and you consider things like, people having familial responsibilities and external forces that you can't control, then one can definitely see where there might be a need for something a bit less rigid. If there's one thing that the last 2 years has shown us with the coronavirus pandemic, is that there is a need to look at how we do things and implement change where necessary so as to ensure continuity. In the face of this pandemic, that's something that a lot of companies have had to do recently, with varying levels of success. But again, I think you can chalk a lot of that up to, most times, just the human factor. Bottom line, I think, is that we should probably be taking more of a hybrid approach to these kind of structures, mixing in consideration for the fact that things are dynamic, they change, and the same thing doesn't necessarily work best for everybody. We should definitely consider that and align that kind of thinking with our linear views and goals. So that's my thought on the matter. Short, sweet. Let me know what you guys think. Should I get rid of the 9 to 5? Should I keep it? Should I modify it? What's on your mind? What do you guys think? That's it for me today. We are a couple days away from Christmas. You guys be safe, have fun, eat, drink, and be merry, show love, all of that stuff. And definitely, if you enjoyed this video, please show me some love by giving it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to my channel and hitting that notification bell to keep you updated on all the content that we post. That's it for me today, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Happy holidays.